All right, today we're going to continue talking about rational numbers. We'll be looking specifically at multiplication and division. So just like yesterday, the majority of our work will be with fractions. We will look at just a couple examples of decimals, okay? All right, so first thing we're going to do is look at negative 5.4 times 0.05. Now, can anybody tell me, using your integer rules, this answer is going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative, okay? So 5.4 times 0.05 would give you negative 0.27, right? Okay? Make sure you're careful about where that decimal goes. All right, the other one we're going to do, negative 6.84, divided by negative 2.4. Now again, what do we know about our answer? Our answer should be positive. Positive what? 2.85. Okay? Simple enough, yes? All right. Okay, now we're going to look at fractions. Okay, so when I look at 4/7 times 4/5, remember when we're doing multiplication of fractions, you should always look to see if you can cross simplify first. Can I do any of that here? No, because 4 and 5 aren't divisible by anything. 4 and 7 aren't divisible by anything. So all you do is multiply across. All right, when you multiply straight across, what do you get?
16.
Okay, now should you always check again for simplifying? Yes, because even sometimes when you cross simplify, you still might have to simplify at the end. Can this be simplified? No. Okay. All right, the next one we're going to look at is 3/8 times 2/3. All right, anybody have an idea what I should start with here, Lainey?
Cross simplify 8 and 2.
Okay,
2.
what would you get?
3/4 and 1/3.
Okay, so those simplify to 1 and 4. Is that the only thing?
Can't you cross out 3 and 3 make them 1?
Good. Okay, so now we're multiplying straight across. 1 times 1 would give me 1. 1 times 4. Hopefully we know right off the bat that can't be simplified. What if it was 4/1? What would you say? Just 4. Okay, never leave a fraction over 1. All right, we okay with both of those? All right, so next we're going to move into if we have a mixed number. Just a reminder, if I ever go to the next page and you're not ready for it, just let me know. So we're going to look at 1/4 times 3 and 5/6. Okay? Now, what should I start with before I'm ever even ready to do anything else, Nate?
Change 3 and 5/6 into an improper fraction.
Good. Okay? Remind us how we're going to change that to an improper fraction.
Multiply 3 times 6 and then add 5. Use the same denominator.
Okay? So remember we use the term multiply down, add up. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down 1/4 because that's going to stay the same. So I'm going to multiply down. You always start at the whole number. 3 times 6 would give you what? 18. And then you add 18 to 5 to get,
23.
what do you always put that back over? Over the denominator. Okay? The denominator will never change. All right? Jordan, is there anywhere that I can cross simplify? No. Okay? So, Jordan, go ahead and multiply for me and tell me what you get.
23 over 20.
4 times 6 would get 24. Okay? All right, Nathan Miranda, can I simplify that any? No. Okay, very good. All right, next one we're going to look at is if we also have a negative. So 7/10, and we're going to multiply that by negative 2 over 3. Now, honestly, you're going to work it the same way, and then at the very end or the beginning, I don't care which time you do it, you're going to think about your sign. Okay? So, Abby, is there anything I can simplify here?
2 and 10.
Which would give me what?
1 and 5.
Okay? Is that the only thing I can simplify?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay? So, go ahead and multiply the number parts for me. 7 times 1 to get,
7.
and 5 times 3.
15.
And then look at your sign. It's a negative times a positive, so different signs mean my answer is negative. Okay? We know we can't simplify because 7 is what type of number? Prime. Thank you. Okay? Alright, are we okay with both of those? Any questions? Okay, next thing we're going to talk about is the multiplicative inverse. It's a fancy word that just means what? Anybody?
Change the places of the numbers, like change the denominator and numerator.
Okay, yes, it means we're going to change the denominator and the numerator. What other word do we use for that? Starts with an R.
Reverse.
No.
Circle.
Reciprocal. Good. Okay, so when you see that, like when you're, because everyone's going to do this, right? When you get on your homework, you're going to read all the directions because we always do that really well, right? Uh-huh, as you should. When it says find the multiplicative inverse, it's just asking you to find the reciprocal, okay? So if it gives you a fraction 3/8 and asks you to list what is the multiplicative inverse, all you're going to say is 8 over 3, right? You're just going to flip that fraction, okay? Here's where you have to be careful. What if it gives you 2 4/5 and asks for the multiplicative inverse? Say it again, Rylan.
Make an improper fraction.
Yes, you need to make it improper first, okay? So we multiply down 2 times 5 to get 10, add 4,
14.
okay? So that is actually 14 over 5, so if I take the reciprocal or the multiplicative inverse, I would get 5 over 14. Okay, so just be careful on those. I have seen people just say it's 2 5/4. All right, that does not come out the same. Okay, so make sure you take, make sure you flip it to an improper fraction first. Okay, all right, let's do division. The reason we go over this before we do division is because in division of fractions, what do we always use?
Reciprocal.
Yes, right? Because we're not actually going to divide, we're going to change it to what?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. Remember, keep, change, flip?
Yep.
Okay? So, anytime you see division of fractions, you're going to keep, change, flip. What do I keep? The first fraction. What do I change?
The sign.
The sign to multiplication, and then you flip second fraction. That's where the reciprocal comes in. Okay? Nothing here to simplify, correct? All right, so 1/3 times 2 over 1 would give you 2/3. All right, Piper, tell me what I would need to do here. 3/10 divided by 2/9. My first step is to do what?
Keep change flip.
Okay, tell me what I would get when I keep, change, flip.
3/10 times 9 over 4.
Very good. Okay, Piper, is there anything that I can cross simplify?
No.
No, so multiply across, what do you get?
27 over 20.
Very good. Final answer, yes or no? Why? Gotta make it into a mixed number, can't leave it improper. What would that be as a mixed number? 1 and 7 over 20, right? Because we know 20 goes into 27 one time, and you'd have a remainder of 7, okay? 7 over 20 can't be simplified. Okay, Taylor, you want to try this one?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. First, tell me what I would need to do first here. Can I keep change flip yet?
No.
No, because before I keep change flip, you have to do what?
Turn the possible fraction into an improper.
Good. Okay, so that would be what?
7/3.
Perfect. Okay, now you can keep change flip. So when you keep change flip, you would get what?
7, 8 times 37.
Okay. All right, keep going. What can you do next?
21/56.
Okay, you can. Is there anything you could simplify first though?
The 7.
The sevens. That just makes it easier for you later, okay? It's not wrong if you did that, but it'll just make it easier for you here. Okay, now what would you get?
4/8.
1 times 3?
3.
Yep. Yeah, just be careful on that. It's an easy thing to do. Okay. All right. So you're correct when you said that, but then it's just easier here to simplify this than to try to be simplifying 21/56, right? Okay. So that'll make it a little easier for you. Okay. All right. Last one. Anybody want to volunteer for this one? Come on. All right, Nate. Go for it. -2/3 divided by 4/5.
Keep change flip, so it'd be -2/3 times 5/4. And cross simplify the 2 and 4.
To get,
1/3 times 5/2.
okay.
Then you get -5/6
Why negative?
because the signs are different.
Very good. Okay. All right. We feel okay with this? Anybody have questions? Okay, page P19. We're going to be doing 2 through 22 and then 32 through 42 evens. Make sure you read your directions, okay?